Otherwise, what's the point? But they will always, each one of those children will always remember you. That was the number one response. 9 out of 10 kids said, because when a child starts playing sports for the first time, they play because they want to learn the sport and they want to have fun in the process. One of the common mistakes that I've seen that I myself made in those early years was letting a child believe that they didn't measure up. I'm Coach Johnny, and this is Johnny's Kids, a channel designed to remind everyone that the game belongs to them. When a child doesn't feel like they measure up, they're not usually verbal about it. And that could be a problem, because if they don't feel like they're a part of the team, then they're not going to feel like they're contributing. We as coaches have to be aware of this. And as such, we have to make it a point of knowing our players. You have to get into the mindset of you're not coaching the team, you're coaching the player. For you, it's a one-to-many relationship, but for them, it's one-to-one. It is our responsibility as coaches to ensure that they feel like they're contributing, like they're a part of that tribe, and that they're actually learning and having fun in the process. Otherwise, what's the point? Those are just a couple of the many reasons why we coach. And if you're not very clear as to why you coach, again, that's a good place to start. And then once you define to yourself, why is it that you coach? The next thing that you should be able to define to yourself is, how do you measure success? Now, take the team mentality away from that and think about, how do you measure success as it relates to the individual player, your stars, your first comers, and everyone in between, the entire spectrum of children. How do you measure success individually? Success is a one-to-one relationship with every child, and as such, it should be measured individually. Coaches are, for the most part, in the eyes of the children, second only to their parents. So the things you do, the things you say, they carry a lot of weight. You have a responsibility, the main responsibility, to inspire these children to want to come and want more, to do more and be more. It all falls on you as the head coach. And this is important because we want these children, if, for example, if it was your child, to mimic you and your behavior and your thought process so they can go out and live in the world. That mentality does not change when they're looking at the coach. What you don't want is for your child to mimic the behavior of some ogre who's yelling all the time or angry all the time, or some angry harpy who's always frowning. You don't want to be that person in their eyes. In 10 years, you may coach 10 teams or 15 teams, depending if you're doing multiple sports, and you'll probably go through 150 to 250 maybe players. And the chances that 10 years from now, you're going to remember the name of every single player from 10 years ago is fairly slim. But they will always, each one of those children will always remember you. Keep that in mind, because everything you do and everything you say carries weight. Inspire your players. Make them want more. They are looking to you for inspiration. There was a movie a while back with George Clooney where he was talking to a distraught man and explaining to him, why do children look up to athletes?
I'm not a shrink, Bob. I'm a wake-up call. You know why kids love athletes?
I don't know, because they screw lingerie models.
No, that's why we love athletes. Kids love athletes because they follow their dreams.
Now, unless you have a professional team standing right there next to you that can actually talk to the children, these children are looking for inspiration from, you guessed it, you. They want to follow their dreams, and you're the person that's going to get them there. There's no talk about big fancy homes and cars, and if there is, it shouldn't be coming from you. If you ask a bunch of doctors and ask them, why do kids play sports, they'll give you a bunch of doctor answers. But Amanda Visek, I hope I pronounced her name correctly, of George Washington University, took the question to the kids and asked a bunch of kids, why do you play? And the results, believe it or not, are not surprising. They're not surprising to me, but they may be surprising to you. 9 out of every 10 kids that they asked, why do you play sports? They said it was to have fun. That was the number one response. 9 out of 10 kids said, because they want to have fun. Winning was 48. Playing in tournaments, 63. Earning medals and trophies, or any kind of award for that matter, 67. The fact that children don't measure their success by their win-loss record should be an indicator that neither should we. And again, it goes back to the how do you measure success? Why do you coach? For almost any mistake that coaches make, we should all keep going back to that same question. I'm constantly asking myself that question. Why am I here? Why am I coaching today? How am I going to measure success today for me, for that player, for that player? Everyone has their own measure, and it is your responsibility to make sure that you're on top of each individual one. Do the job. Do it right. You know, these kids are looking up to you. You are the one person that they will remember for the rest of their lives. Remember that. You are that important to them. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Down in the description is some links of some of the stuff that I use for coaching, a couple of books that I read that I highly recommend everyone do, and some other things that'll help support the channel at no extra expense to you. I appreciate you taking time. Have a blessed day.